In Fallout 3, there are more weapons than I know what to do with, but what if I were to complete the game using only things that explode? So I started off, as we all do, by falling out of my mother's lady cave and then proceeded to create the absolute monstrosity you see before you, who I appropriately named Bouncy Betty. After realizing that my creation had resulted in Liam Neeson looking like something that was spawned from Chernobyl, I assigned my special stats as so. I celebrated my 10th birthday, and Liam Neeson told me that I'd only turned 10 once, but that guy obviously has no idea how many times I've played this game. As I do some crucial target practice, I'll just let you know that for some reason, bats just didn't want to work with anything that wasn't a grenade, so that's a thing. A couple of years passed, and it was the morning of the goat. Butch and his gaggle of tunnel snakes was bullying a matter, so I knocked him the fuck out, man! No need for that, mate. Tag skills. I chose barter, as I suspect that for some reason that dead enemies and containers aren't just going to be chock full of explosives, and I might have to purchase some. I picked big guns because missile launcher, although now I think about it, I think it would probably scale with explosives, and the final skill was obviously explosives. I wake up just after going through Radigan's fog wall, and a matter tells me that the vault has gone to shit and my dad's gone to get some milk or something, and here is where we hit the first speed bump. Usually, you have the choice between your fists, a 10mm pistol, and a baseball bat, and I don't know how observant you are, but none of those three things are explosive. So I just had to run past everyone and open that vault door like a homeless guy rummaging through your bins. I got the fuck out of there. As I exited the vault, I hit level 2. I upped the obvious stats and I took the Daddy's Girl perk. On the way to Megaton, I found 3 frag grenades in a mailbox, which is great because now on the off chance I need to murder something, at least I can try. I very kindly disarmed the bomb for Lucas Sims, and despite the fact that he only met me like 40 seconds ago, he gave me a full-on house. It's more of a shack, but I got a robot, which is cool. It also gave me another level, which means that my barter is now at a ginormous 50 points. I rocked up at the Greater Side Supply to buy any explosives that Moira may have had, and she had 1 frag grenade. Yeah, cheers for that. I also sold everything I owned that wasn't clothes and things that explode. I popped over to the saloon to try and speech check Moriarty, but fucked it up worse than Betty's genetics.
The fuck is everyone?
Which meant that I had to do his dirty work, but we passed this speech check, so we're all good. He told us that Neeson is at a place called Nalaxy Ruse Gadio, which is probably where I should go next, but, plot twist, I'm gonna go and grab some stuff that's hopefully gonna make this playthrough easier than just desperately clutching 4 frag grenades in my hand whilst hiding in a corner. Job 1 was to walk all the way up to the Republic of Dave to grab the Perception bobblehead, taking the skill up to 9. But, on the way there, I had a lucky encounter. At first glance, this might just look like a group of Brotherhood outcasts, but if you look closer, you'll notice at the exact same time that a group of opportunistic raiders showed up and absolutely annihilated them, man. I don't know what those outcasts were doing wearing that power armor, but they had absolutely no right whatsoever. That's like me showing up at an Olympic fencing event with my replica keyblade, like, right, you fucking losers, let's do it. Ran into a few problems on the way up, one being this dog that just left me with countless holes in my ass. You can see me here just trying to do anything to get away. It was stressing me out. I eventually made it up there and grabbed the bobblehead. The next part of my elaborate scheme was to head down to Rivet City to get access to the market, and now while I'm there, I can be making trades like motherfucking Jordan Belfort.
I'm not fucking leaving!
The product of being down there is that I can also grab the intelligence bobblehead, which will take my stat up to 10, which means I'm going to squeeze every possible drop of experience out of everything that I managed to kill. I experienced little to no trouble on the way down there other than these guys that have been chilling there forever. I've killed them that many times, I was like, right, guys, come on now, you've had your fun. I'm not in a current state to be doing this. So I just ran straight past. And when we got there, I did meet my favourite yellow-clad wasteland trader, Lucky Harith, that guy. And he sold me 5 grenades and 2 missile launchers, which is fucking veg. If anything in this world can make me want to eat vegetables, it's how they look in this game. Like, everything in this game is just grey and horrible. And then you get here and it's like,
oh my god! Wow!
I was finally on my way to Nalaxy Ruse Gadio, but this meant taking a slight detour through the metro where there were some enemies that I actually needed to kill. I can run away from a few things when I'm out and about in the wasteland, but unfortunately in this current environment it's going to be quite difficult, so I activated the Protectron in order to protect me. I guess that's kind of why they called that. And this is where I first employed my strategy, hiding like a bitch while the NPCs fuck each other up, which is something that I'm probably going to be using fairly consistently throughout this. A little further down, there's some ghouls locked behind a gate, and for some reason I decided to open it, but I did also tactically place some frag mines down beforehand, and somehow didn't manage to blow my own dick off. There was actually more use of my favourite pro gamer strategy here, just in case you forgot the name of it. It was hiding like a bitch while the NPCs fuck each other up. Luckily, this time, the thing I happened to be hiding behind was a group of power armor-wearing maniacs that were armed to the teeth. I felt a little bit left out, and they were kind of doing all the work, so I threw a mine down just so I could say that I'd, like, you know, got involved. The coolest character in the shitting game, ladies and gentlemen, it's 3Dog. Ow!
Well,
I got some more kills down here, all by myself. I hope you're proud, because I was. After exerting my very last frag mine, the huge green morons were dead, and I found a tape of old Neeson saying that he was off to Vault 112 to do some serious science shit. And that's where we're going next. Tranquility Lane is one of the most interesting parts of the game, in my opinion.
If I lose it all,
Because not only do you have to deal with, and yes, I can say this because technically it is a fully grown German man, the ugliest little girl any human being could ever have the displeasure of looking at. Seeing this makes me want to stick frag grenades in my eye sockets and pull the fucking pins, man. I was slightly concerned due to the fact that normally as part of this quest you have to go on a psychotic murder spree with a knife, and I'm not sure how much knowledge you've got on knives. They do not blow up, so I had to employ other methods. Turns out my dad is a furry, and not just any old run-of-the-mill kind of enjoys the company of a cat, but like a little too much furry, but like so much so that he actually turned himself into a dog. When we eventually got the fuck out of there, he told me that I had to yet again go back to Rivet City to speak to the miserable cow that is Madison Lee. I got another level up, and this one was huge, man. I got an explosive perk, and I can actually safely say that I've never taken this perk in my entire Fallout 3 career, which has been fairly long. Neeson thinks it's cool to send his daughter into an onslaught of freakishly strong super mutants and just sat outside safely waiting, twiddling his thumbs, while I did the dirty work. I suppose now is as good a time as any, probably, to explain to you that I'm about as good at keyboard and mouse gaming as I am at actual real-life open-heart surgery. There was one super mutant left at this point, and I had expended my entire arsenal, so just like North Korea, I was kind of just pretending at this point for the pure intimidation factor. Jokes aside, the only option I had, unfortunately, was to expend one of my 4 missiles, and watching that red-tipped, phallic-shaped object exit that long shaft was exhilarating and made me feel powerful. I was in desperate need of a restock, and Google said that the merchants restocked every Wednesday and Sunday at 12 PM. So I stood around for a fucking long time in hopes to restock my supply of blow-uppables. I restocked Moira and Flak and Shrapnels 2 times, and just like your dad in his last marriage, I came out the other end with barely anything and completely without dignity. Nah, I got 3 missiles and 4 frag grenades, which is honestly embarrassing for the amount of fucking work that I had to do to get there. Nonetheless, just like me, after 30 seconds of sexual intercourse, we were ready to fucking blow. I cut my losses and just charged labia first into the action. Once again, instead of actually doing something himself, Neeson made me do all the dirty work, which did actually involve climbing down a shit pipe just to turn a valve. And with timing more convenient than a travel tampon, the Enclave arrived. I honestly don't remember any more than a couple of these guys at most, so my handful of missiles should probably suffice.
Hey, fuck this shit, I'm jerking off.
About 35 seconds into the combat, I realised I was fucking completely just done. Neeson's now dead, so I guess that's that. To be honest, he kind of fucking deserved it for passing on his genes when he looks like that, man. He's done a disservice to the human race. Me and the team, well, minus Dad, of course, headed into the tunnels in order to escape the Enclave, but at this point I was equipped with nothing but 2 pulse mines and hope. The pulse mines were used almost instantaneously, and the hope, just like your neighbour's cat buried in your garden, slowly deteriorated along with them. I can't believe I wrote that, man. That's fucking sick. My usual strategy wasn't going to work here, because although this guy liked to pretend he was hard, running around with his little pipe out, he was actually about as soft as Jimmy Savile in a room full of consenting adults. My only option was just to charge through as fast as I possibly could, paving a path through countless ghouls and leaving my deceased father's associates in a trail of corpses behind me. I knew that just further up here there was a power armor-clad Brotherhood Knight, and this meant that I could employ my once again favourite strategy: hide like a bitch while the NPCs fuck each other up. The only one that came through that door after the massacre that you just witnessed was Dr. Lee, and she's the only one that we actually need, so I think we're good. I'm now in the Citadel, and in order to prevent me from blowing off any more of my own limbs, I'm getting trained to wear power armor. I had to speak to Scribe Rothschild, but he looks like his name should be Scribe. Don't let him anywhere near a child. How is this good for anybody, though? Like, seriously, does the manager come up at the start of the day like, right, boys, today, your task is to just kick the shit out of each other? I needed a Garden of Eden creation kit to suck all the radiation out of the room where Neeson's corpse resided, so I needed to get to Vault 87. Not only does this mean fighting my way through the super mutants in Vault 87, it also means I have to go through Murder Pass, and I am about as prepared for that as I am for actual adult life. I'm 26 and I don't know what I'm doing. Please send help. I refreshed the merchant stock a couple more times and I came out the other end with 5 frag grenades, 5 mines, 1 pulse grenade and 21 missiles, which is pretty good, but I had no caps left, so this kind of had to work. I was trying to reserve my missiles and mines, so I used the nades first. I found my first super mutant brute of the run and he took 3 grenades to kill. 3! This was gonna be rough. Immediately after that, I came across a super mutant master, and melee enemies are a particular problem in this because once they're close enough to hit me, I can't kill them without also blowing myself up in the process. I thought it was best just to use the mines to get rid of this guy. My new strategy was just to run for it. If I was going to make it through Raven Rock, I had to start conserving ammo. I got stuck trying to run away from 3 of the bastards, and one of them had me trapped in a corner like a stepmother in a washing machine, so I had no other choice but just to fucking... I let Forks out of his lifelong jail cell, and you'll never guess what? Hide like a bitch while the NPCs fuck each other up! I got roofied and taken to Raven Rock, and when I woke up with a sore bum, Colonel Autumn was stood there fucking staring me down. I told him to suck his own dick and just ran for it. I'm down to 4 missiles at this point, which is honestly pitiful, so my strat was just to run as fast as possible. What I'd actually started doing was just closing doors in the faces of the guys that were trying to chase me, just to cause them the slightest inconvenience. Luckily, on the escape route out of there were some robots on my team, but the soldiers seemed to be getting incrementally stronger, which meant that I had to start throwing stuff at them. After I got out of that complete and utter shitbag disaster, I found my boy, man, just outside doing his thing, playing with his new toy. It was really sad because he didn't realise that this was it just wasn't the time, and I had to finish this alone, so I had to send him on his way, unfortunately.
Goodbye, my lover. Goodbye, my friend.
I'm back at the Citadel, and this 2-hour-long cutscene basically boils down to... Boss tells the shooty people to get ready to shoot, and then he tells the science people, you guys need to do some science. Boom. Was it that hard, Bethesda? Did it need to be that difficult? No, it didn't. What the fuck? I very quickly ran back to Rivet City and Megaton to restock and shed some of this extra weight that I was carrying. I grabbed my fat man, and by that I do not mean your dad. I equipped my BOS power armor, and we were fucking cooking. This is it. The final battle. I'm not gonna hide behind the NPCs this time. I'm gonna fight for what I believe in. So anyway, my strat for this is just to use the age-old hide behind NPCs, a true MLG move. I got one last level up here and took a perk that hurt my feelings a little bit because my girlfriend has been telling me for years that this isn't true. This was actually a lot of fun because I finally didn't have to worry about ammo or any of that kind of stuff. I could just blow stuff up, and if I ran out, Liberty Prime and the Power Rangers to take care of it. As I started to realise I was coming towards the end of the game, I started getting a little bit silly with it and pulling off fucking stupid moves like this. Not even Kim Jong-un is this trigger happy, man. I was expending actual rockets like they were 10mm rounds.
You again.
While there's still enough gameplay left to see, I just want to thank everyone that made it to the end of this video. If it's something you enjoyed, maybe check out some of the other stuff that I've made. I am just as stupid in all those too. I want to do a level 1 Mothership Zeta run, so keep an eye out for that, man, if you like Fallout. I've heard if you go to your bathroom mirror and look deep into it and scream sub to wheel by 3 times, I will actually appear behind you and just give you a little right on the back of your head. So, what am I on about, man? Right, I'll see you in a bit.